Okay, hey guys, so at this time what I got is I just realized there's a repo of React Stripe elements with all the elements available. So here is the URL in case you want to check them out. They tell you how to use a lot of elements. So in this case I use, well, let me first show you. I'm just using the card element, okay? And I just made a test to see that everything is working. December 11 to 2:41 p.m. Okay, you can see the clock. So, but I followed the tutorial that was on the Stripe page, but here they have a lot of things, pretty interesting things. You can see all the components. So in case you want to learn more, at least what I will give you now is the implementation, and you will see how to add all these other elements that is the same way. Okay, you can see the car element. You just need to add that element from the Stripe elements. Okay, so but let's take a look at the Stripe. And the Stripe, just like that. Okay, let's take a look at this. I think it's developers elements. We should have something about React. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, using elements with React. This is the implementation they show you on their page, but you can add more things with this GitHub Stripe, React Stripe elements. Okay, I just realized that this existed, so it's pretty cool, actually. Okay, so you can also follow this this little demo they have, which I did. Okay, so let me show you what I got. Let's go to package.json. Okay, I got React Stripe elements 201 or above that. So okay, let's follow this one. It's the same. Okay, it's the same repo. Here you can install npm install save React Stripe elements, or you can add it with yarn in case you're using that. Okay, first of all, let's make another test. Okay, let's refresh just to clear the console. This is a little kind of store. Remember that we have these products in a Mongo database. Also, I have my API, my Node API that serves all those products. So if I want to clear this, let's refresh. You can see that okay, that is what is serving the products. So let's say node.dev index, and okay, let's wait for that. Okay, connection established. So everything is working again. Okay, this is the array of products that are coming from MongoDB inside MLab. So let's make another test so you can see. Let's say shares, let's say hello, let's use my email, let's use the test card, and let's say pay. Okay, takes a little bit, it returns a token. Okay, client IP, created that, the ID, the token with a type. Okay, and you can see that my API returns all this information. Okay, name Aldo and Aldo Kamal that arroba hotmail.com. The shirts, fresh cotton shirts, the amount, the ID, the customer. So if we go back, let's try dashboard. I think it was, and take a look at that. Okay, let's go to Aldo. And 2:46 p.m. December 11. Okay, you can see the clock here. Fresh cotton shirts. Okay, $20 and succeeded. Okay, so remember that with React Elements we just send the information we have. In this case, I'm just using the credit card, but here you can add. I think I show you, yeah, this kind of elements, and they even show you how to. Well, let me see how to style them. Okay, so I just use plain old CSS, checking the console and changing this thing. So let's go to the code to actually see how it's implemented. First of all, of course, you need to install Stripe Elements, and let's go to this thing. Let's go to index.js. Okay, let me even go to. Let's follow this because I can remember. I did this one right after the Angular one, the Angular elements. So I'm recording this like a week or a week and a half after I did that. So I'm kind of rusty with this. But let's go. Okay. Remember, if you know how to use Redux, this is the same implementation. Okay, you need to import this Stripe provider from React Stripe Elements. Okay, even they show you. Let's follow this one. I don't want to miss anything, so we already installed this. Okay, and of course, in order to make this work, let me go back and let me go to index. Boom, boom. I'm so blind. Okay, it's on. It's not on massive, it's on in public. What the hell I'm doing? We need to add this Stripe API script, okay? Because Stripe needs to have this script to connect to the API, okay? And so yeah, we need this added inside your index.html. So after that, we close this, we go to index.js, and we can access, after we install the Stripe elements, the Stripe provider. We use it to wrap our application, and we pass this attribute that is required, that is our test API key. Okay, so okay, they tell you that you need to add the Stripe.js library. Okay, here it is. And to create the payment form. Okay. Okay. So after we have this provider, we can now go to create a form. Let me show you first. Okay, the products. To show you how everything is implemented. I made this state with a products array, and after the component is mounted, I'm just consoling, products component mounted. I'm fetching the components using fetch, returning the JSON, and using that to populate the products so I can display them here. Okay. Now you will see these elements, okay, that is being imported using React Stripe elements. Let me go to the Stripe API because they tell you. Okay, here it is. The elements component, which encloses the wrap checkout form, creates an elements group. Okay, the elements group indicates which ones are related. Okay, and you can relate your elements. This one is the elements group. Is the element. It's kind of messy, I know. Okay, yeah, it's the elements. For example, like they did here with the address, with the address card section, you can add that inside the elements, as far as I know, to show that they are related. Okay, but in this case, since I didn't want to deal with all that crap, of course, I only just realized that there's something, there are more elements, but that's the idea, no? To use only what we have. These ones are just inputs, okay? And you can see that I'm receiving all that information without adding the elements. I just need the credit card in order to charge. Okay, I'm receiving the token after I send the post to the API that also has a stripe, of course, and I just need the card element. So in this case, the payment form is just another component, okay, that is managing the card element. So let's recap a little bit. The products state, we fetch from the API and the Node and Mongo API. We populate these products in order to show that, and we surround or we wrap our element. Okay, this will not make sense right now, but it will in a second. Okay, the element or the component that has the stripe element, okay, we wrap that inside these elements. So I will advise you to read this explanation, okay, because it will explain better than me. So you can see what everything is doing. You can actually read what everything is doing and why you need to do all this. Okay, it's not that hard. It's just that, as I said, I did this like a week and a half ago, and I'm just recognizing the code, but I don't see it as a big deal. You will have this code also, so you can play with that. Of course, you will need to use your keys and all that. Okay, this is the outside. Okay, is all this, and this card is the element, okay, that we're using. So, well, this payment form is all this, of course, it's the form. It's all this enclosed. So let's take a look at that payment form. Okay, we import, in this case, the card element, that is the element we are using. Okay, let me go back here and let's go back to, let's see if they have only the, okay, I think the card is surrendering. Okay, that's nice. Sorry, I don't know. So let's go ahead. This element is available using drag stripe elements, okay, and we need this inject stripe, okay, because as I said, if you have used Redux, this will look well, also MobX, and this will look similar, and the implementation will look similar, okay, because after all that, let's skip a little bit. After all that, we just need to wrap our component or class component inside this inject stripe that is what we have imported here, okay. So okay, let me show you. Here I have the product, okay. Each product, okay, is just an element, it's just a div with the product ID as a key and all that crap, okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm just passing the information I need as props, okay, the price, the description, and the product name that are coming, of course, from the database. I'm just passing that to the component, the payment form, and now the payment form is receiving those props, okay. I'm just managing the state for each one of these cards, products, and I'm managing the form, okay, so I can retrieve this information and the name, the email, and all the description and amount and all about the product. In case you want to pass more, you can even pass an object inside this, so it's all about how you want to do it. So okay, this is where we get the token, okay. It's an async function, okay, and of course I'm using a submit, that's why I'm using prevent default. And let's wait for the API to get to create a token, okay. The token is received here. You can see the object. Let's close this, and it returns all this information with the token. So we need this token, these props, that stripe, that create token. All this we can access once we have a Stripe installed, okay. And in this case we pass a name, this that is data name. If you remember, on the Angular Stripe elements, I used the name, but I think I never pass anything. I just use it. I don't know, I can't remember, but I checked the code later and it was like, where the hell that name is coming from. So this actually is coming from the name. I had it in the state, yes. This, I'm populating this with the form, okay. Let me check this. I have this on change handler on the name and the email, so I'm getting those. I'm populating that, okay, on my state, and I'm getting this product data using the props that I passed here, okay. So all that I got on my state, the Stripe token, okay, is going to be filled around here. Okay, let me continue with this first. So okay, we send we create the token, and once we have the token, okay, I'm just consoling all that crap that is this, okay, the amount, the description, and this charge is coming from the API. So we have this node Stripe and Mongo API. So we make a post request to that, okay, and the route I'm using is this localhost 8000 charge, okay. We send the post method and the headers, okay, and the body, we stringify the body, and the body is the name, email, description, amount, and the token. Remember that this token, okay, is what we need in order to make the charge and to create a customer, okay. So this token will return an object, and inside that we can access the ID of that token, okay, that is this one, okay. You can even get all this. So I'm guessing that with the Stripe elements, with address and all that, everything, okay, all this will be populated. Or you can add a form and you can pass that, you know, like how I am using this, because as I said, I'm not an expert on these Stripe elements. So I did what I would do, you know, just getting information and sending that and post them to my API and send that, since it's a little faster, a little better for me to use Node.js to send all that into the API service, okay? So I rather to send all this form, or oops, to send all this form information, okay? Let's say, okay, which one I have here? Let's change it to another one. What? Okay. Let's meet someone. Let's use that. Okay. Let's say someone at someone.com. Okay. Boom. Pay. Okay. The token. We receive the token. I'm consoling this, and after a few seconds, we return this charge added. That. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let's refresh. Okay, December 11 to 4 p.m. Okay, so let's continue. So as I said, I'm sending this form information so I can manage all this inside my API. And if you have used Stripe with Node.js, I think it's more intuitive, okay? And so I'd rather use that figuring out how to use all these elements. Okay? But of course, these elements are here for a reason. But to show you that you can get your data without having to use all these elements, this payment request, I think I'll do something about this one, but maybe later. Okay. So in my case, I'm not planning to do anything more using the other elements. So maybe just this require payment. Oh yeah, I'm just talking. So okay, we send all this information with the token ID. If the response is okay, we add this as it is. Okay, it's not my idea or anything. Let me check if they have something. Okay, if response that okay, then everything is completed. Okay. So I'm just canceling charge added, and you can see that I just need to send the post with the content type of application JSON, stringify this because my API is expecting the JSON, okay? And if everything is okay, I'm just consoling charge added, and that's it. This is the form. Okay, on submit this Stripe token, I always use a form because it's semantically correct. Okay, to use a form instead of a div with a lot of inputs, and managing the handler. Okay, and just the input pay button, and it's just that. Okay, it's not that hard to implement the elements using Stripe, using React. So I think I will recap. Okay, of course, after you pay, you can, or you need to, let's say, I added the form, sorry, here because I didn't want to manage another component. Okay, and so what you could do is to make this clickable. Okay, to click this and to go to another page and to show a bigger product image and the form there, so you can pay, and to manage that a little better, and from there to redirect to a thank you page or bring the user back into these products. Okay, but it's just an idea. If you want to implement more, or you can add your shopping cart or whatever you want. I think there's a I don't know, let's say shopping cart React. Since now we know how to make payments, or how to get the payments, we could try to make this thing is so freaking slow. We could try to make another kind of store, in the future. Let's see what they got here. Simple e-commerce card application will. Okay, this is a demo. Now I would like to know how to implement the cart. Is it integrate React? What's this? Simple shopping cart using Redux. Oh. Company start. Oh, maybe we could use one of these and to tweak it to our needs. We'll be fine. So, okay, in case you were thinking about using something, you can come here to this one or to the other one. Okay, and the shopping carts, and you know how to implement these Stripe elements, because this, I think I didn't miss anything, but let me recap. Man, this thing is so slow. Okay, so let me Even let me close this because I don't know why it's getting so slow. And so, first of all, or is it? I think it's VS Code. VS Code likes to install and to update things on the background, so you know, like Windows. So it usually works pretty good when I'm, you know, working with it. But sometimes, well, it was faster before. I don't know what it did to VS Code. It was really good, and now it's just meh. So again, we install Stripe, React Stripe elements. After that, of course, once installed or before installing that, we need to add this Stripe API script. Okay, we have anything else here, just that. We need to add this, and after that, we go to our index.js and we import the Stripe provider from Stripe elements, and we wrap our application, okay, with the Stripe provider, and we pass our API key, or publishable API key, okay. And after that, we can use the elements. Man, this thing is so slow. What the hell is going on? I read something that the CLI, the PHP CLI that has VS integrated, and sometimes as it is looking for the code, it starts consuming more memory than it should. Okay, but I'm not sure. Fucking bike or that. I'm not sure what it did because I remember that it was super fast. I don't have, you know, this high-end PC on all that, but it was super fast. And now it's just I'll keep using VS Code because I like it, because it's I mean, but now it's giving me a lot of headaches. It's like, dude, just let me code and I'm fine. I don't need all this pretty shit. I just need to code, okay? Because I work as a freelancer. I need this to code. I like all the features, but dude, just allow the product to be what it is and don't add more shit into it. Because as a developer, I like all this, you know, syntax and all that crap. You know, it's soothing for this site, but I'm not installing like 20 or 30 or 50 extensions that prettify everything, all that. I don't need that. You know, that's for. I'm not going to say anything more, but I just I would love to see VS Code as what it was before, a pretty lightning fast, you know, editor that gave you no problems at all. But okay, that was just my rant. But okay, so after that, we let me recap. Okay, we use the Stripe provider. Okay, we use our public key, and after that, you make your form however you want. Okay, you can use the elements that the Stripe provides or whatever you want, and you will need to surround your elements. Like in this case, if I had this address element, let's say address stripe element, okay. If I had this element imported, I mean, okay, let's say I have this payment form, that is a component. If I had another one, address component, okay, let's say that, and that address component is importing inside the address element, I will need to add these two inside these elements. Okay, I cannot use the elements inside, okay, as they say on their documentation, that you cannot use these elements inside the component that is importing, or that's what I understood. You cannot use elements inside this. Okay, you cannot surround this with elements, but you will need to surround the component itself, because you are using this inject stripe. Okay, yeah, you will need to, like, this is a special component, okay, that has all the Stripe implementation, and you say, okay, all that has a Stripe implemented, and I will surround it with these elements, okay, component. So Stripe knows that is all together, you know. So let's, okay, after that we made our form component, we got our products, and yeah, we manage to state as we want. We can use Redux, we can use context, you can pass the information however you want. In case you don't want to use that, just use the state and pass the information as products, create an object and pass that, like, no, create an object product and create that and pass it here, or just pass it like the way I'm passing it here because I'm lazy, okay, and because it works, of course. And yeah, manage the information how you want, however you want. Get the information inside your inputs, okay. As I said, I'm not using the other elements, the other Stripe elements. And after you have all that, all your information, your user information and your product information, okay, we call, we create the token. We receive after a few seconds the token, okay, and we make a fetch using that token inside the body of the post, okay, that has all the information that we need. And I showed you the Node backend on the Angular one, but I will show you again the API so you can see in this video too how it's implemented. It's pretty simple, and yes, you pass all that. If everything is okay, then it means that the API managed everything fine, there was no problem, so the charge will be added. I'm just consoling charge added, and that's all that. Remember to use this inject stripe inside your class component, and you'll be fine. Okay, so let me close this one. And let me actually, this is the thing that I have. Okay, let me close this. Yes, and let me go. Okay, where is this thing going to open? Okay, I just want to move it here. Let me go to my projects and show you again the Stripe API. Nope, open with code, and to show you how the API is working. I still have the API. This is all the crap that is returning. Okay, so this is your secret key. Okay, since I'm on localhost 8000 and I'm using this charge, and I will need to connect to HTTP localhost 8000 / charge. Okay, to make the request. So I'm getting the client data with the request body. I'm extracting the email and the token. Okay, because remember that the Stripe needs or uses the amount in cents. I'm just multiplying that by 100 to get the correct amount. I'm checking inside the list of customers if I have this email that I'm returning the client email. If there's a customer, okay, if a length is above 0, meaning that I have that customer, I'm just consoling all the customer data in case I want to do something with that, and I don't need to add the customer again. Okay, I'm creating only the charge, and after that I'm just sending a message. I'm even using elements Angular here. Okay, consoling this onto my console, of course, and if everything happens, just catching the error and sending that back. Else, if I don't find the user, okay, on my customer stat list, so remember that this stripe is the instance of this, and you can access the customer list, okay, and you can pass the filter, so you return that, and you can check if you have that customer or not. In case we don't have it, we just create a customer, stripe the customer as create with the email and the source token and the description you want to add. After we have the customer, we can now charge. Okay, and that's all that. Okay, let me go to what do I have on index. This is just a simple API. So you can see what I got here, and that's all. That's all we need in order to make some charges using React and React Stripe elements. So let me close this. Let me even close this. If it wants to, okay, and close. So remember, you can go to Stripe elements, and let's say, okay. If you want to learn more how to use the other components, so you can come here, https github.com stripe react stripe elements. Okay, the form, the address is the card section. And yeah, I mean, in case you want to use the other elements, you can also style them. So yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, the payment request, as I said, I want to make something because I can change all this, and I might do something next with that, but for the next week, I think I will be uploading something about cloud functions, or maybe some other thing about Angular with Firestore, and that it could be authentication that I already have implemented, but I might do something more with that, but I'm not sure. So maybe maybe for next year I will add this payment. So because we can play, as I said, Where the hell is that thing? I'm so blind. Payment request button. Okay. So, for the condition, the request option, see the payment request object. Here we create an object using the payment request that I'm guessing. Okay, to use the payment. Okay, we'll take a look at that later because this is getting a little lengthy. Okay, so that's it. As I said, check out this GitHub repo so you can understand more about how to use these components. Also the Stripe, let me check that, Stripe, just Stripe. We have 46 minutes then. Elements, just search for React, okay, go to React Stripe elements, and you can follow this little form, I mean this little example, and they even show you on the step 4, I think, yeah, how to create your charge on the server. So yep, remember also that to make a Stripe account is pretty simple. I don't know what it was, but okay, you can create an account. I think this is where, right? So you can play with React in case you have React with the Stripe in case you haven't. Okay, you create your Stripe account and you will have your API key, so you can play with this. Okay? So that's all. As always, see you on the next one.